Hello, welcome back to Sustainability Channel. I'm Tom Montegino from DeFi ESG. With just about every ESG or sustainability assessment, they ask the submitter to complete a materiality assessment. So if you're watching this video, you might be asking, what is a materiality assessment? So we're going to cover that today. What is a materiality assessment and how do you complete one? Stay tuned. So if you enjoyed today's video, please tap the like and subscribe buttons below. We have new videos coming out every week. So materiality assessments, or as we call it in the United States, a material assessment, it's a formal exercise aimed at engaging stakeholders to find out how important specific environmental, social, and governance issues are to them. And again, this information is used to really drive the overall ESG goals, objectives, strategy, engagement, and communication for that year. And really to tell a more impactful sustainability story about that organization. So that's what a materiality, or as we call it in the United States, material assessment is. And this should not be done by one or two individuals. This should be done by experts for that company and stakeholders for that company to get their views and to get their level of importance for each of these subjects. So that's overall what a materiality or material assessment is. So what I put now up on the screen is a basic material assessment. This is what GRESB supplies and asks their assets to complete when doing the GRESB infrastructure assessment. And if you want to do a really quick and dry materiality assessment or material assessment, this is what I recommend. What's nice about this, it's very streamlined, it covers everything, lays out very concisely, but it's a little too concise. For my taste, it doesn't go deep and wide enough. I really like material assessments that not only rank the priority for these items, which this does from 0 of no relevance to 2 being high relevance. I like when it weighs it, a relevance for the corporation and then a relevance for stakeholders. That just gives you a better idea of how important each of these subjects are to ESG. And a lot of these things that are whited out, they are whited out because A, they're 0, or because they're not applicable, because it doesn't pertain to this entity. This was done for a transportation provider. So many of these items are just not applicable. That's why they're in white. As you can see, they group it by environmental issues, starting with air pollutants all the way down to noise, social issues starting with child labor. Notice the European English spelling of labor, not our American spelling, all the way down to stakeholder relations for social issues, and the same for governance, starting with audit committee, fraud, bribery, political contributions, whistleblower protections, all listed there and are ranked accordingly by each significance and weighing for that corporation. And pretty simple with this. You just click on it, put a 1 there instead of a 0. And it goes up to a medium relevance instead of a 0. I originally thought that was pre-weighted based on the industry classification. So again, this is free. This is available on the GRESB website. If you want to do a very quick, dirty, dry materiality assessment, material assessment, I recommend you do this. And I'm going to show you next a little deeper, wider, better materiality assessment if you want to get something a little more impactful. So this material assessment I like a little bit better. And why I like it better? Because it really shows the importance and weighing for stakeholders. And on the same chart, the influence on business success. This is what UPS uses to really summarize their material assessment. And if you look at child forced labor, that is low for importance to stakeholders. And it is also low. Well, you know what? It's like a low or a medium. But it's low for importance to stakeholders as well as influence on the business success. Customer privacy, if you notice, is extremely high for both stakeholders and business success. So this is what I recommend. And how you get to this point is you would survey a good representative sample of your stakeholders and a good representative sample of business owners or leaders and really get their scoring of each of these items. And you can do it from 1 through 5 scoring, 1 through 3. It just depends on how you want to do the materiality assessment and what your comfort level is. Then you would summarize it. And of course, if someone doesn't know about that subject, you should give them the opportunity to mark, not knowledgeable and not really count their score for that part of the assessment. Then you grid it out on a map like this, and it really gives you a good visual of the priorities of how the things rank for material. During this process, you really want to memorialize and document in a memo who was involved in this process, the timeline it took place, and what lengths you went through to go through and complete this materiality or material assessment. The reason is being to really get the maximum amount of points for your ESG assessment, you have to memorialize it in a memo. So that wraps it up. We covered what a materiality assessment or material assessment is, how to go about putting one together, the scoring methodology behind it, and what okay and good both look like from a materiality assessment standpoint. So if you enjoyed today's video, please tap the like button below and subscribe. We have new videos coming out every week. Thank you very much for watching.